All right, I think we're ready to kick things off. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Joseph. I oversee our MLS partnerships here at CubiCasa. I'm also joined today by Daniela from our success team. We're so excited to chat with all of you today as we launch our partnership with FMLS and bring you this amazing tool. I know many of us are already in holiday mode, so our plan today is to give you a quick introduction, and then we'll be hosting some more in-depth webinars after the new year, where we'll dive into all of the different products and editing and customization, all the fun stuff that you can do within CubiCasa. But to start out for today, I'll spend probably about 15 minutes or so with you walking through a few things. First and foremost, what CubiCasa is in general. We'll take a look at the technology itself, so the actual mobile app that you'll be using, and then we'll review all the different types of floor plans that are now available to you as part of this partnership. From there, we'll pause to cover any sort of common questions that have come in, and then I'll toss things over to Daniela to give us a quick look at the CubiCasa dashboard, show you where and how you can access your floor plans on your computer, access all of your settings, and all that fun stuff. As we're walking through everything today, please feel free to use the Q&A function to send over any questions that you have. We'll be keeping tabs on that as we go. We're also going to send a couple of links in the chat box so you can follow along there. And lastly, we'll leave the webinar room open for about 10-15 minutes at the end of the webinar today, just to allow time for additional Q&A. So please keep the questions coming. We will get those answered as we go. I've seen a few questions come through already regarding the recording from today's session. So I sent over my email address in the chat box. If you just want to shoot me a direct email, I will send you over the link to today's session later today. We'll also be sharing this back with FMLS, and I think they'll be distributing it. Last bit of kind of housekeeping before we dive in. I've included a QR code here on the screen for those of you that would like to get your account set up while we're together today. Feel free to scan it now. Don't feel rushed. We'll pull this up midway. We'll leave it up on screen at the end of the webinar today for that whole Q&A session. You can either scan that or click through the CubiCasa link on your MLS dashboard to create your account and get started. But with all that, I think we are finally ready to dive in. So CubiCasa has one main goal here in the US, and that's to bring a floor plan to every single real estate listing across the country. So to start off, let's talk about what our tool is and how it works, and how you can help us on this mission to improve the home buying experience for consumers in your market. So first thing, you're probably wondering, if this is brand new to you, what is CubiCasa? To give you some high-level background, we started a number of years ago, essentially as a floor plan redraw service. But we've evolved into what we are today, which is an amazing mobile app that allows you to quickly and easily scan a property in just a few minutes to create an accurate floor plan. You'll be able to showcase the layout of the space, of course, like you see on the top right there. But then you can also generate things like the individual room dimensions that you can then use to populate the listing and share with potential home buyers. Now, I'm sure you're probably visioning this in your head as being a complicated technical process or even time consuming, even though I just said 5 minutes. The good news is it's probably easier than you're thinking. If you look at this image on the right-hand side of the screen, that gives you a good glimpse into what you'll be doing as you scan properties. So you'll open up the app, enter in and confirm the property address, and begin the new scan. It will pull up a camera type view like you see on the phone there. You'll hold your device, walk the perimeter of every room on the interior of the house. Once you've captured everything inside the home, you can step outside to capture any outdoor spaces that you want featured on the floor plan, things like porches, decks, or patios. As you're walking through scanning, you're also going to get real-time feedback. So this will help to make the process as easy as possible for you as the scanner, helping you to kind of correct things in real time if you're moving too quickly, for example, or if you get too close to a wall. But the more important piece of that is it allows you to get the most accurate scan, so you'll get the most accurate measurements and floor plan as the end result. The scanning process should only take you about 5 minutes for an average size home. Right now, the average we're seeing is in the neighborhood of around 2,200 square feet, and those scans are only taking about 4 minutes. Last thing to note about the app is it is available for both Apple and Android devices. Any device from the last 8 to 10 years will work for you. So now let's take a look at the actual scan in action. Unfortunately, I can't show a live demo of my computer, following me throughout the space that I'm in as I scan. So this will be the next best thing. We'll send over the link to this video in the chat box in just a couple of moments. Since we're over Zoom, it can sometimes come through a little blurry or choppy. So you'll be able to come back and reference this video. But to start out, you'll see two separate views here. The main view of this video is just a screen recording of the app. So that's the actual experience that you'll be seeing as you scan. And then the secondary view along the bottom of the screen is actually filming the woman as she's doing the scan. So you can see exactly how she's holding her device and walking through the space. So first up, when you start out that new scan, you'll select the property type. So single family home, townhouse, apartment, condo. You can scan any type of property, and you'll be ready to walk the perimeter of each room, scanning as you go. You'll see that real-time feedback pop up that I mentioned. It's sort of this red caution tape across the screen, helping you to correct things in real time along the way. You'll scan all rooms on the interior of the home. So we just saw that closet and bath space. We've got a living area here. Once you've captured everything on the interior of the home, without pausing or stopping the scan, you can step outside to capture any outdoor spaces like this deck area. You can even scan things like detached garages or ADUs, all as part of one single home scan. Once you finish scanning, so you've captured the entire interior of the home, you've captured any of those outdoor spaces you want on the floor plan, you'll be able to submit the scan directly within the app, and your floor plans will be available to download within 24 hours. It really is just as simple as you saw there, holding your device and walking around the home. One of the recommendations I always give is to download the app and do a test scan of your own home. You'll get a feel for the process. You can even scan your own home a few times if you want to get more comfortable with scanning before you head out to your next listing. You're also already probably familiar with the measurements in your home, or at least have a general idea of them, so you'll get a chance to see how accurate the floor plans are as well. Now, the scanning process will work on all different types of properties. So in that example there, that video we just watched, we got a glimpse into a couple of interior spaces. We saw that deck area with the hot tub. I always like to show this example here of a pretty non-traditional layout. So we've got curved walls in this property, which are always a pain to measure. There's a pool in the backyard. There's an ADU off of the main property. All of this was captured as part of one single scan. And the same process will be true for homes with multiple stories. You just need that one single scan. In those situations, we recommend starting in the basement or lowest level of the home and kind of working your way up from there. You won't need to pause or stop the scan at all. So as you transition from level to level, you'll actually scan the staircase as you're walking up to that next level, scan that level, and so on. And then again, once you go to capture these outdoor spaces, you will not pause or stop the scan. Everything will be captured as part of one continuous scan. So for this example that we see on screen, they would have captured everything inside the home. Without pausing or stopping that scan, they would have stepped outside to capture this covered patio area that you see in the photo. And then again, without pausing or stopping, they would have stepped outside, captured the perimeter of the pool, and then walked over to that ADU space. And that allows us to generate all of this as part of one single floor plan. Now let's take a look at the actual floor plans themselves, all the different type of options that are available to you. We've partnered with FMLS to offer unlimited basic free floor plans, which is what you see here on screen, and what we call light. This is a really great option to start making floor plans a little bit more standard practice when you're getting your listings put together. It's going to cover properties up to 5,000 square feet of scanned area, including the internal square footage, as well as the square footage of any of those outdoor spaces that you capture, porches, patios, decks, those sort of things. And it's available to save with or without the room dimensions included. So the sample you see on screen here, I know the text is probably pretty small since we're over streaming, but if you can see my cursor here hovering over the family room, we've got the name of the space and then the dimensions of that space listed below. If you just wanted more of like a marketing type floor plan, you can hide the dimensions, toggle them off from the floor plan image, and just have the names of the rooms included. Last thing to note is that because this option is free, you actually don't even need to add a credit card to your account to be able to create these types of floor plans. Now, on top of this free light version, we do have a number of different 2D and 3D floor plan options, all created from that same 5-minute scan. So there's nothing different or additional that you need to do on your end in terms of the actual scan itself. And everything is also available on an a la carte basis. So you can pick and choose what's wanted or needed for each individual property. And because you have unlimited access to those free light floor plans that we've got on screen here, my recommendation is to just scan every listing by default. That way you have the free floor plan available and then it's saved within your account. So if you want to come back after the fact and add on some of these additional options that we're going to take a quick look at, that will be available for you. The other thing to note as we look at these other options is that FMLS has sponsored a 25% discount for any of the paid options and add-ons that you select. I'm going to give you a really quick look at what's available here. Just for the sake of time, we're not going to dive through every single thing that you can create, but I do recommend poke around the app and the website to get familiar with some of these products. And as I mentioned before, we'll be hosting some more in-depth webinars after we get through the new year, all the holidays, so we can kind of walk you through all of these different options. This slide here shows our 3 most popular options. So Light is that free basic floor plan that we just looked at. Plus is an upgraded package that unlocks a number of different things. The key piece here is really fixed furniture. That's typically what consumers want to see on the listing. Fixed furniture will include things like appliances in the kitchen, any islands or wraparound countertops, as well as fixtures in the wet spaces and bathrooms. So tubs, toilets, vanities, all of that will actually be drawn into the floor plan. It also unlocks a few different reports that we offer, the home report, snapshots, and allows you to create our new interactive floor plan called CubiCasa Tour. Lastly, we've got Plus 3D, which, as the name implies, introduces a 3D style floor plan. The 3D floor plans will have colors and textures actually matched to the space as closely as possible, and it will include loose furniture. So things like beds, sofas, dining tables, all of that will actually be drawn into that 3D floor plan just to help better visualize the space. This slide here shows some of the available add-ons. We've got a GLA report or gross living area report. This will show the livable versus non-livable square footage of a home. This is what appraisers are using. So if we've got any joining us today, that will be available for you. And even for agents, this is just a nice way to show the actual livable square footage. If you've got a partially finished basement, for example, or if the top story of the home has areas with low ceiling height, this will show the actual livable square footage and show you the square footage of those non-livable spaces, just so you have all of the measurements available. These other 2 options here, so I mentioned those basic floor plans will be turned around within 24 hours and cover properties up to 5,000 square feet of scanned area. If you do need your floor plan faster, that's an option for you. And then if you have a property that goes above that 5,000 square foot free threshold, you can still absolutely scan those properties. We can still absolutely create a floor plan for them. There's just a cost associated with those oversized properties due to the increased production cost on our end. And then lastly, we've got our line of 3D products. So Plus 3D is what we touched on a moment ago. That will be that 3D floor plan image, kind of looking down in the space with all the furniture and everything included. If you choose the 3D floor plan, you can also add on a video rendering, which will be a couple-minute long walkthrough of that rendered space. And lastly, we've got CAD files. These will actually include both 2D and 3D files, and these are going to be editable. So this is great if you're working with somebody who's going to flip the home, remodel the kitchen, take down a wall, any sort of project like that. You can go in and do and plan all of that work digitally before you actually go in and start any sort of renovation or even demolition of the home. So that's a really quick look at some of the different products that you can create once you've scanned a property. From here, there's sort of 2 different paths that you can take. So first, if all of this sounds interesting to you and you want to have floor plans on your listings, but maybe don't have the time to scan all of your properties or just don't want to, that is totally fine as well. The good news is we work with a number of photographers that actually include our floor plans with all of their interior photo shoots. So you can access a list of local photographers that we work with based on your actual geolocation, so where you're logging in from, either by logging into your CubiCasa dashboard or by scanning this QR code here on screen. Again, don't feel rushed like you have to scan this now. We'll pull this up at the end of the webinar and we'll include both QR codes on screen so you can either create your account or get connected with these local photographers. Now, as a similar note to that QR code to create your account, on the flip side of what we just talked about here with our photographers, if all of this sounds interesting to you and you do want to scan the properties yourself, you do want to be able to go in and edit and customize your floor plans and all that fun stuff that you can do, I always like to call out our amazing support team. There's a lot of different things that you can do, a lot of things that you may have questions about as you get started with scanning. You'll be able to reach us at any time. We've got live chat baked into both the mobile app and the desktop site. That will be the fastest way to reach us. And we've got a priority inbox specifically for our MLS partners like you guys, which is just mlshelp@cubicasa.com. Now, moving into next steps for you to get started. First up, of course, is to create your CubiCasa account if you haven't already. You can do so by scanning the QR code that I'll pull back up here in a moment, clicking through the link on your MLS dashboard, or I'll also send the direct sign up link in the chat box, so you can click that link as well. Any of those options will automatically affiliate your FMLS membership and pre-populate your benefits and that discount for you if you do choose any of these paid options. And then once your account is created, you'll be ready to start scanning and getting floor plans for all of your listings. It really could not be any easier. As I recommended before, download the app, do a test scan of your own home. You'll get familiar with the process. You also see it's a pretty fun process too to scan homes, and you'll get a chance to see how accurate those floor plans are as well. So that's everything that I wanted to cover with you on my end. I've pulled the QR code back up here on screen that you can scan to get your account created. Once again, don't feel rushed. We'll pull this up at the end of the webinar and leave it up on screen. For now, I'll check in with Daniela. I've seen plenty of questions come in. So if there's any common questions that we want to touch on or share with the group, we'll pause to do that now. And then I'll toss things over so she can give us a quick look at the dashboard to show you how you can navigate your CubiCasa account from your computer and walk through some of those different tools and features that we talked about.
Perfect. Thank you, Joseph. And thank you everyone for just the great engagement in the Q&A. I love seeing all these questions. I'm trying to furiously answer them as I can. So if I don't get to your question, don't worry, we will by the end of this webinar. And thank you for everyone that sent in your email, just letting you know I'm recording those and we will send you out that recording. FMLS will also send you the recording of this live as well. But some common questions to cover that I saw that would be good to mention with the group is we had a few questions on scanning. So can you scan things like closets or should you open doors before you start the scan? And my general recommendation is always prep before you start your scan. So that means making sure you have a mental picture of the scanning path that you want to walk through the property in. Make sure that you open any doors that you want to go through. We do recommend not swinging doors in front of the camera as that can throw off the location marker. So if you do need to swing a door, just turn the camera off to the side, open the door and proceed scanning. And make sure the place is well lit. Once you have those factors in, you can simply start your scan. If it's a house with multiple floors, simply start from the bottom and work your way up the house. You don't need to scan regular closets, but if it is a walk-in closet or a closet with a special function, maybe it has a heater or a boiler in there, then we do recommend scanning that as well. A question is, can this be used for commercial properties? And we don't have a specific product offering for commercial properties, but you can scan buildings up to 10,000 square feet. Beyond that, you're kind of just testing the app, so to speak. You can try it. I would just be mindful of large order processing fees at that point, but you can try to scan larger buildings with the app if you want. Another question is, what if I have multiple MLSs? I'll show you here in a little bit how to add your MLS discount code. If you already have a CubiCasa account created, you do not need to create a new account. You can simply add in FMLS as an MLS discount code, and you can have multiple ones added as well. The one with the highest discount code will automatically apply to your account. So I see the questions are still going in. I do want to move us forward so I can show you the dashboard. So Joseph will do his best to answer those questions while I share, and then we will leave time at the end to cover those too. So let me go ahead and get my screen shared here. It looks like it's loaded. Perfect. All right. So once you create your CubiCasa account using that QR code or referral link that's within your dashboard, you will be redirected to this web account. You will also need to download the CubiCasa app through either your Apple Store or your Google Play Store. Both accounts will use the same credentials. The only difference is that you will be creating the scans through your app, and once you send those scans for processing, they will be available to your web account that I have pulled up here for us. Through your web account, you'll have additional options to customize and edit your floor plans as well as other features within your account. So you will always be landing on your dashboard page within your web account, and at the top, you will always have our preferred photographer list that is listed based on your geolocation. So if you're too busy to create a scan yourself or you want to bundle a floor plan with a photography package, great resource available for you. The most important part of this page, though, will be your most recent orders. And to open up any order page, simply click on that order address and you'll be taken to that order page. You'll notice at the top you'll have different tabs available, and these tabs will include all the different packages and add-ons that Joseph just covered, and you will have access to view them and download them based on what you have selected when ordering through the app. So the 2D product tab here will give you access to our basic 2D floor plan. This has the plus 3D, so it does come with the plus floor plan that has the fixed furniture icons as well as colors. You can also go under the CubiCasa tour to see your tour, and if you want to add a tour into your Plus package, then it will look similar to this screen. So it's only going to take 3 simple steps to generate your CubiCasa tour. First, you will simply upload your photos. You will select what your cover photo will be, so the first photo that appears within your tour. Then you will select Generate Tour. It will only take just a few minutes for that tour to generate for you. And afterwards, it will look similar to this page where you'll be able to preview that tour. Now, maybe you look at your tour and you say, you know what, these location markers need to be a little bit more spread out, or you want to make any modifications to that tour. You will always be able to do so under the quick edit. And I know that we had a few questions related to that as well. Once you open this tool, it will take you to a new tab, and at the top corner, you'll be able to select what floor you want to adjust. This tool is not only helpful to adjust the CubiCasa tour, but also the 2D floor plan in general, regardless if you have the Lite or Plus version. To adjust the tour markers, all you have to do is click on the location tour marker at the left-hand side and click on the marker you want to adjust. To adjust it, just move it around with your mouse. You will also see this pop-up of the photos within your tour, which you can modify, move around as you see fit. You can upload additional photos. You can hide photos you no longer want to show. And if for whatever reason our AI system is not able to match any photos for you on the floor plan, it's just as easy as selecting that photo, dragging it within its placement in the floor plan, and now you have that location marker. Other things that can be done with this tool is you can modify the labels, you can move them around, delete them. You can also hide the dimensions of specific spaces. And if you have the plus with the fixed furniture icons, you can even adjust those icons themselves. For the sake of time, I won't be able to cover everything that can be done with this tool, but I will show you here in just a few minutes where to go to find more information to go a little bit deeper on the quick edit if you're interested. We will also have a more in-depth webinar next month that will cover this more in detail for you too. But once the changes have been made and you are happy with the tour, you will be able to share that link under the share icon where you can just copy and paste your QB Tour link. From here, you can also choose when you want to deactivate that link if the listing goes off market or you no longer want it to be visible to others. The next tab is GLA. I did see a few questions come up on that as well. So the GLA is our ANCI aligned floor plan. If you are an appraiser or you know that you require accurate measurements that align with public county records more closely, this is a add-on that I highly recommend including. You can add it with either the light free version of the floor plan or the plus. And not only will you get the total measurements at the bottom of your standard 2D floor plan, you will also get this appraisal grade floor plan that more clearly distinguishes the differences between finished and unfinished spaces within the floor plan as well. The home and snapshot reports that that do come with the Plus package are available for download here. And finally, all our 3D products are housed under the 3D product tab, such as the 3D floor plan, the 3D video render, and any CAD files. Now you'll notice at the top, you'll have different options as well. If you ever want to upgrade a product later on, you are always welcome to do so under the upgrade icon at the top. From here, simply select what you want to order. You will review that purchase, and then once you send it off, we will start working on it and send you an email notification once those new products have been delivered to your account. To download any of your products too, simply select the download icon at the top. And for your 2D products, you'll have the option to note whether you want to show the room dimensions in there or not, what file format you would like to include it in, and then any other products you have ordered will be available here as well for downloading. That is pretty much it when it comes to navigating through an order page itself. The next thing I want to cover is under your settings and under company. We did mention if you already had a CubiCasa account created, if you could add your MLS still, and you can. So you will go under your MLS membership tab under your settings. Under MLS name, you will simply type in your MLS, so FMLS. You will type in your MLS login ID, whatever that is. You will select verify account and save. And now you will see your MLS discount code appear. Again, if you have more than one, the highest discount code will apply automatically to the account. The next tab is your billing. So if you do decide to go with any of the paid products beyond the free version, you will be able to add in your payment method and also view your invoicing here as well. Detailed invoicing is under view detail, where you'll get a breakdown of line by line items of everything that has been selected for that order. And of course, there are no hidden monthly subscription fees, nothing that you have to worry about. If you just want to go with the free version, you don't even need to add your credit card, as Joseph mentioned earlier. But if you do want to go with the more upgraded products after your first trial scan, here's where you can go to add that payment information in. And lastly, your styling. So if you are interested in branding and further customizing your floor plans with the Plus package, here's where you would go to create those templates for yourself. You can create as many templates and get as crazy as you want, but if you're new with us, you can get started by selecting Create Style. From here, you can go through all our different customization options, such as adding your logo, the color that you want to add for your room spaces. We do have default styles available that you can choose from and review as well. Our most popular one is our earth tones, but you can also choose your own color schemes as well. You can adjust things like the label font, casting, and color. And you can also choose to adjust the disclaimer text that automatically appears at the bottom of all of our floor plans that notes that the floor plan is created by the CubiCasa app. The measurements are deemed highly reliable but not guaranteed. You can leave it blank and completely remove it or add your own if you're more comfortable with that option. And lastly, you can also select the different measurement totals that you want displayed. So the light version does not come with any totals at the bottom, just the room dimensions. The plus automatically comes with gross internal area. So this is the interior square footage of a space, does not include exterior wall thickness. And you can choose to have the GLA add-on like I mentioned earlier. So depending on what measurement you want, you can select that option here. And of course, if you don't want any measurements, you can unselect it as well. Once you save your template, it will be available here and you can automatically select which template will apply to each order you do with the app without having to choose it. If you ever need to adjust the style of a previous order that has already been made, you can always do that by going back to your dashboard or your order list, select the order you need to change, and under Change Style, simply select that style you've just added. Wait a couple of minutes until it loads and your new style will appear for you on your dashboard and you will receive an email notification. So that is everything I wanted to cover with you guys today in terms of navigating some of the key features within your account. I hope you find it really easy and simple to use, but if you ever have any questions, you'll notice this chat bubble following you around the screen wherever you go. It's also available through the mobile app. And if you go under the help icon, this is where our help center is located. It's a keyword searchable database where you can type in anything related to CubiCasa, your account, or scanning. And we will have helpful resources that will appear for you. Some of them include tutorials and videos as well. So it's a great resource if you want to find out more information. And of course, if you want to get a hold of our amazing customer support team, they are available under the messages tab where you can start a live chat with us at any point and we'll help you with any questions you might have. So with that, I will pass it back to Joseph to close us out and also answer some more Q&A.
All right, awesome. Thank you. And we've got plenty of questions coming, so keep them coming in as you've got additional questions. To start out, I'm going to get my screen reshared here just so I can pull up those two QR codes that we've looked at. Again, the one on the left-hand side is what you'll scan to create your account. On the right-hand side is what you can scan to get connected with local photographers that will create the floor plans for you. I want to direct everyone's attention to the chat box. I sent over a couple of links there. The how to scan video that we watched, there's a link to our general YouTube channel with helpful videos as you're getting started, like best scanning practices and short form videos that walk through some of the different tools and features that you can use. You'll also find a link to our help center, which again is that keyword searchable center. If you want to edit your floor plans, create a custom style, you can just search that quickly in the top search bar, and it will navigate you to the article walking through exactly what you're looking to do. I also included the direct link to sign up and create your account and automatically affiliate your FMLS membership. If you're having trouble with the QR code and you just want to click through the link, that's available in the chat box. A couple of questions that have come through that I think are worth sharing with the group. Let me just take a look here because there were so many that came through and a couple that I wanted to highlight that I think are worth noting. There was a question about if you have a duplex that's collectively more than 5,000 square feet, does that need to be one single scan or different scans? For duplexes or multi-unit properties, we recommend scanning each unit or physical address separately. So if you have a duplex or like a unit with or a building with 4 units within it, scan each of those separately so that each address matches up with that actual unit. And that way, all of the calculations in terms of the total square footage for that property will be correct for each individual unit that you scan. Another question that I wanted to touch on was regarding the actual floor plan. Does it automatically appear on the listing once I enter it? The answer is no. So you will need to download the floor plan image. It can be downloaded either on your phone in the app or if you log into the desktop website, you can download the files directly to your computer. You can download them as JPEG or PNG files, so they'll be the same as your other listing photos that you're using. And then you can upload the floor plan image alongside the rest of your listing photos. One other question that came through that I want to share with everyone: after the scan, does it provide the total square footage calculations along with that scan? So total square footage is included with our plus upgraded floor plans. The free light floor plan that we talked about today will include the room dimensions. There's no cost for that, but total square footage calculations will be available with the plus floor plans or above, or the GLA report if you get that gross living area report. That will give you that breakdown of the livable versus non-livable square footage. Now, there were plenty of other questions that came through. So what we're going to do now is just keep the room open for the next 15, 20 minutes or so we can make sure that we get all of your questions answered today. If you think of questions later on, or once you've downloaded the app and done your first scan, don't forget that chat box will follow you throughout. So we'll be available at any time. If you do want some more in-depth knowledge where we dive through kind of the products and things like that, we are going to be hosting some more webinars after we get through the holidays to dive into all of those different products. We've got a session where we'll dive into how you can edit the floor plans, create your custom styles, and all that fun stuff. So just stay tuned. We'll have all of those hosted both with FMLS, and then we'll have some general sessions that we'll share with the MLS as well, so those can get blasted out. But thank you everyone so much for joining us today. Hopefully this was helpful to give you an introduction to what CubiCasa is and all of the available options for you. Thank you again for joining us. Happy holidays and enjoy the rest of your week. Happy scanning as well, everyone.